It's time for, you guessed it, another book haul. Yay! This, my friends, is my fall book haul, and I feel a little weird calling it a fall book haul because there's snow outside, because it's decided to snow the past 3 days, 4 days, so we got like maybe 2 inches on the ground, which would be great if it was closer to Christmas, but I'm not really feeling it right now. But I do have a book haul to cheer both myself and potentially you up. I have 9 books to show you, I believe. Yes, 9 books. And I have none of them were sent to me for review, which is surprising. That hasn't happened in a while. But there was a library book sale, there was just me really wanting books, and then there was a little like extra surprise thing that has a funny story with it. So I'm going to start with the books that I got first, and those were for the library book haul. This happened in October, and every year the local library has their book sale, as I feel like most local libraries do, and I got 5 books from them. And the first one that I picked up was Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. This was one I snagged towards the end. There was this girl standing across from me in the I section, and I saw this book and I was just like snatched it right up. Kind of like underneath her nose, like she wasn't reaching for it or anything. But then she was like, did you see any more copies of that? And I was like, no, I haven't, sorry. Like, so yeah, I probably snagged the one and only copy of this book because it is a very famous book. I'm actually surprised it was even there. I've only ever heard really awesome things about it, so who would want to give it away? The book follows 3 people, Kathy, Ruth, and Tommy, Kathy being the main character, and they all go to this school called Halsham together, and everyone tells them how special they are, and Kathy never really understands why until later on in her life when everything intersects with Ruth and Tommy again. I've seen the movie, so I know what happens, but I figured I should read the book as well because I have heard such wonderful things. Second book I grabbed was A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson, just to extend my Bill Bryson collection. This one is one of his like most highly rated books, but it's extremely like nerdy. It's not related to travel at all. As far as I can tell from like the index, it's about the universe and really like Earth and cells and DNA and space travel and stuff like that, so it seems very out there from what I'm used to reading, what I normally gravitate towards with him, but I'm always up for learning new stuff, so I feel like this would be a good way to sort of expand my horizons in the science direction, because the last time I ever really studied science was in high school, and that was going on being a while, so and plus it's Bill Bryson, so I'm sure it'll be told in like a very understandable, energetic, interesting way. Third is The House I Loved by Tatiana de Rosnay. I read Sarah's Key and A Secret Kept by her. Loved Sarah's Key so much. It's like one of my favorite books I've ever read. And this is the 3rd English novel that she's ever written, so I knew I needed to grab it. This one takes place in Paris, as they do with her. And this is during the 1860s. Napoleon III is just knocking all these buildings down in the city to make room for, you know, growth in this new age. Our main character, Rose, doesn't want her house to be torn down, so she takes a stand, stays in her house, and it sounds like the story is written both from her perspective presently, and then she's also writing letters to her deceased husband about things that have happened in their life. With the setting in Paris and just that time period, I think I'll really enjoy it, plus it's Tatiana de Rosnay. She's awesome. Fourth, Dan Brown's Inferno. This is what I found, this one sort of under the table tucked away with a bunch of other like Da Vinci Code and stuff, and I've read those. I haven't read The Lost Symbol, it's right here, but I want to read it. I enjoy Dan Brown's books. They're just so fast-paced and entertaining, and you always learn something. Inferno is his newest book, and it takes place in Florence, once again with Robert Langdon. He runs into another woman, and the two of them are solving some great mystery with some genius who has these like special codes. There's some tie-in to Dante's Inferno, hence the title, and it sounds like, once again, if things aren't solved, it could either be catastrophic or, you know, everything will be okay. So it's up to Robert Langdon and this new girl Sienna to solve the problem of these codes and this evil genius while in the backdrop of Florence. So it'll be fun. The last book I picked up at the library book sale was The Blind Assassin by Margaret Atwood. I have read one other book by her, that being The Handmaid's Tale. I read it in grade 11 or in my junior year of high school. So it's been a while since I've touched on Margaret Atwood, but there was a bunch of copies of this one there, so I kind of felt almost pressured to pick this one up because there was so many of like the hardcover nice editions just sitting around. This one is about an older woman. Her name is Iris, and she is in her 80s. She's reflecting on her life. It sounds like a family drama told from her perspective, but it follows Iris's sister Laura, who was killed in a car accident kind of like early on in her life, and following Iris is talking about Laura, talking about her family, and so it also sounds like it has a little bit of that Margaret Atwood, like, going out, you know, pushing the boundaries a little bit touch. I've heard it's not the easiest book to get into. It is quite hefty, so I'll give it a shot, see how I feel. You never know. I gotta try some more Margaret Atwood, so gotta start somewhere. This is the book that I have the weird story about. It's called Around the Rock in a Bad Mood by Bernie Howgate, and you're looking at this and you're like, okay, looks like a self-published book, right? I get a knock at my door. I'm sitting in my room, someone knocks at the door, okay. Answer the door, it's this author. And he starts talking to me. I can tell he's got an accent, pretty sure he's from England, and he's saying that, you know, back in the olden days, authors used to go around and sell their own books themselves, just go door to door and just take the money and put it, you know, towards making their living. And I was kind of like, okay, sure, like what have you got? Like, what book are you doing? And so he pulls out this book, and it's about his trip kayaking around Newfoundland, and I was sort of shocked and didn't really know what to say in terms of like, first of all, I'm really bad at saying no when people like show up at your door and they're trying to sell you something. I mean, I've done it before, but I just feel super uncomfortable. And I was like, okay, it's a book, it's a travel book. The guy was pretty funny. Like I chatted with him a little bit about it, and he's published other books in the past with a similar theme. Like afterwards I looked him up online. He's a legit person. I gave him the $15 he asked for, and I got a copy of his book. He signed it, right at the front here. Signed the book for me, and he said that the money that he makes off of selling his books goes towards his next adventure. So it sounds like he's been doing this for a while. He was an older gentleman, but it was just sort of like the most random thing, and I feel like now every time I look at this book I'm like, this is the guy that came to my door and sold me his book just like in person. It's totally never heard of that happening before. But I feel like it'll be a fun read. I feel like I'll learn some stuff about Newfoundland as well. Like I'd love to go there. I'd love to hit all the provinces and territories in Canada, so I think this will kind of like spur that want to go travel out there. So yeah, thanks Bernie. Lastly are 3 books that I just purchased for myself because there was some deals going on and I've been eyeing them for a long time. The first one, the Book Depository, sent out an email saying if you put in this code you get 5% off the book that you want, and the Book Depository already has free shipping, so I was like, can't turn that down. I've had my eye on Into the Wild for so long, so long. I love John Krakauer's stuff. I mean, Into Thin Air, favorite book of 2013, you know. I've been dying to read more of his stuff since then, but I always hated that cover that you can find everywhere, like the classic Into the Wild cover. I never liked it. I didn't want to own it. And then I saw these editions. They're by Pan Books, which I guess is like a subsidiary of Pan Macmillan, and they have beautiful covers. So like this one just with the bold font in the picture, and they have copies of the same style for Under the Banner of Heaven, Into Thin Air, and like other ones, Eiger Dreams, other John Krakauer works. And if I didn't already own those books, I would totally buy those versions, but oh, it's just so pretty. I don't know anybody who hasn't heard the story of Into the Wild. It's just one of those, like, if you live in Canada or America, I feel like you just know the story. It's about Chris McCandless. He left everything behind in April of 1992, like burned the money in his wallet, donated his savings to charity, and decided to go live in Alaska on his own. It's just such a fascinating story. I've seen the movie, so, you know, I kind of know the tale, but I want to read the book because it is Krakauer and I love his writing, and it's just such a famous book. And also just, I wanted to own it. It's so pretty. The second book that I picked up for myself was All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. This is one of those books where you have 2 different characters that end up intertwining. So we have our female character, her name is Marie-Laure, and she's living in France. And then we have Werner, and he's living in Germany. Werner ends up with the Hitler Youth. Not a good place to be. Marie-Laure is, her city is being invaded by Nazis, and so her and her father make a run for it to this walled city, and it sounds like Werner and Marie's lives cross when they're in this walled city. And I've heard amazing things about this book, so I'm super pumped to read it. It's, you know, it's a little hefty, but it sounds like it's like right up my alley, like exactly what I look for in a book. So I'm really excited for this one. Lastly, the 9th book out of 9, it is Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. I specifically went out of my way to get the hardcover because the paperback is available in Canada and it seems like that's the only one that's everywhere. So I ordered it from Chapters along with All the Light We Cannot See, and there seems to be a blue theme going on here, but I got some good deals on those books, so I was happy about that. This one takes place in Iceland and it follows Agnes. She is the last woman to be publicly hanged in Iceland. So it's based in truth. I mean, I don't know how much of the little details are actually what happened, but I've also heard fantastic things about this book, get a little, you know, into Icelandic history. I feel like this will be a fantastic historical fiction read about a country that I really don't know that much about. Can't wait to get to this one. Can't wait to get to quite a few of these books. I mean, I'm pumped. I'm happy with this haul. There are a ton of books in here that I'm sure you guys have read, so definitely let me know what you thought about them down below in the comments. Any questions about any of the books, feel free to ask those down there as well. As always, all of our links are in the doobly-doo. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you later.